Well, everybody, I don't want to delay because we have 4 matches and we are significantly behind time. So, Crappy, take us over to the game reveal for game number 2. Alf's gonna eat your face. That's all right. You know who's not gonna eat your face? Our next GM, Omega Number. Come on in here. Yar, hardy har har. Are you ready, Omega? I am. Omega Number, I'm pretty sure you're the GM. Yeah. Omega Number. Escorian, don't eat my face. Nobody is allowed to eat my face. Even our zombies today. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know what? If Omega Number is not showing up... Oh, there we go. Hello, Omega Number.
Hello, Brosensha. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was just about to do the reveal because I'm like, where are you?
Yep, I'm here. I've been waiting. Watching.
Thank you for your patience. Yeah.
Well, everything kind of goes wrong when you have Alf. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, the Alf experience. I mean, you live by the Alf, you die by the Alf. Actually, you die from the bats and the oyster, but that's life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
So I don't want to delay here any. So I will just say that today's game is Myth Maker's Orbs of Doom for the PlayStation 2.
Orbs of Doom. Well, the players are going to be terrified by orbs today. They will have 1 hour to try to make as much progress as they can. Honestly, we haven't really had PS2 games before, and this is pretty exciting. Yeah, people are like, PS2? What is going on here? As it turns out, what is going on is we have upgraded. I don't know how, but somehow. And here we are, our 4 players, and I believe that I have our zombie correct, Waffle Fox Bree.
That is correct.
Yes, well, our other players are J-Hit, Cookies, R Yum, Willard J. Bradley, and Waffle Fox Bree, a regular zombie, not a lethal zombie, as per our notes. That means that Bree will be playing, but will not be counting when it comes to the scoring. Bree can come and chat if she wants, or she can just enjoy some orbs on her own. I am fine either way. With that said...
I mean, that's good because she tested this, so she has played this already.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't be a lethal zombie if you've already played the game. You can only be a normal one. Okay, let me check and see if the players are ready, because I certainly am. I accidentally told them Countdown was starting, and no, not yet. I need to check with them to see if they're good to go. And you know what else I need to do? I need to play the music from the game and not the music from Plock. That's very important. I know this game has music. It's PS2. You can't have a PS2 game without music. That's against the law.
I mean, Phoenix could, technically speaking. This developer is something, but...
Hey, Bree, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Well, good. Are you ready to begin?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I tested this game last year.
Well, sweet. I'll go ahead and do the countdown then. Let's get roll. Oh, wait. Take your picks down, BTW. I love the Yellow Brick Road stuff. It's fantastic. And here we go. Countdown time. Best of luck to the players. Everybody spam all of your orbs, because apparently this is Orbs of Doom. No, Orb 3D. Why aren't emotes shown? I'm going to have to refresh that. Okay, I can refresh emotes. That's fine. Please. I hit the refresh button, so they might show up now. There we go. Hey, Willard, already finished a level. Very nice. Okay, well, this is Mythmaker's Orbs of Doom. What can you tell us about this game?
We have Monkey Ball at home. That's what this game is. This is... we're already discovering one of the fantastic early levels here. We were trying to get up this ramp here. This is Monkey Ball with much janker controls and very erratic level design. Fortunately, the first 5 are tutorial levels, so they're not going to be too rough on the players, but they do get harder as they go along. So, it is not a long game. This is going to be 30 levels max, and there is a long play that's an hour long, but it's a fairly optimized long play. The non-optimized long play you can find is about 3 hours long, so it should take the whole time, I would think. But I don't know, maybe none of them seem like they were Monkey Ball speedrunners. If they were, maybe they would be like really fast at this, but this just does not control well enough, I think, even if
look at these load screens too. They take forever. Oh, PS2, yeah. I love you.
Yeah. So they're all playing the pumpkin. That is because that is the character they selected. As far as I can tell, it's all cosmetic, and that's the kind of little noises they make when they fall off. But this is a Phoenix game, and I was a little unsure if there might be some sort of weird glitch or something. I don't want to make sure everyone had the same experience. So they picked the pumpkin.
Is fair. Oh, there goes Willard falling off the edge here. And Waffle Fox, you're the one who's playing here. I want to know a little bit, how does the game feel to play with a PS2 style controller? Is this fine so far?
It's very sensitive. I don't think I played like regular Monkey Ball, so I don't know how to compare it to that. Like it's finicky though, and the screen is sure shaky.
Yeah, Willard is having to deal with the camera and trying to turn it around. Camera becomes very important because the way that you move relates to the camera. And if you don't have things lined up, then you're probably going to fall to your doom. It's Orbs of Doom.
Yeah,
so this game has some camera controls, but like they're with the analog sticks, which are disabled by default. Usually PS2 games like turn the analogs on by default. This one you have to press the button.
Okay. Well, that's fun. Hopefully everybody knows to do that.
Oh yeah, let everyone know.
Oh, good.
Okay, I guess I finished the training levels.
Okay. Oh no, Cookie's off the edge. Everybody is making some fantastic progress here. The voting or the prediction in Twitch chat is almost wrapped up. It'll be interesting to see who people vote for. But with that said, obviously we're going based off of the number of levels completed. And our current referees for this match are Toasty Stoat Nakarashi Ponders the Doom. Buster Curry is going bananas. Taven of the Bushy Eyebrows. And finally, Kazia ZX. These referees are helping to make sure we do not forget. And if there's the case of a crash or something, helping out to make sure that the experience is fair for our players here. Now, obviously, we are eliminating players for various matches, but because these are all high-scoring players, nobody is getting eliminated today. The reason we don't have a lethal zombie here is because these players have not faced a zombie before. Usually, so the zombie is essentially here to fill in a place when we don't have enough players to fill in a 4-player match. If people face a zombie a second time, that person counts when it comes to scoring, and because that rules are a little bit different. If they haven't faced a zombie before, then usually they get to face one without having any score repercussions. Yeah. And it also takes the stress off of you, Waffle Foxbury. You don't have to feel like I need to give them competition. I mean, you can give them competition, but usually not being as stressed makes it a little bit easier to go through stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good at... Well, I mean, at least I played this before, but like... Which I wouldn't be allowed to be a lethal zombie, but... I don't know if I'm the best person to give everyone competition if that was the case. I just had a problem earlier where my controller or my direction was stuck and I had to like unplug and replug my controller again.
Oh no!
I don't know what that was about.
I mean, welcome
I
to
think
controllers.
it happened last time I tested this as well, and I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, everybody looks like they're getting pretty good. They're getting their bearings in the game. They're really starting to understand how the movement and controls work for this game. Honestly, it doesn't look too terrible. I mean, this is PS2 era, and oftentimes a lot of PS2 games were a little less aggressively bad and a lot more like either mediocre games or games that are very clearly inspired by other games but done a lot worse. And I think that right now, you know, the levels seem to be fairly straightforward, but it's a little non-linear where you need to go. We've got some exploding boxes that are in the way that you're having to deal with, Bree. We've got egg houses all over the place that don't matter. Like, it's a little more confusing where you're supposed to go in this game.
Yeah, this does have parts where when I was playing, I like just literally went the wrong way and got confused, and that could definitely happen here. Tracking is you have to actually beat the level. There's no intermediate points where I'm having the refs check or something like that. So just 3D, it's way too confusing to figure out because you can't like count pixels or something. And it looks like Cookie is trying to get down this really rude ramp right here with all those trees. I would say, so weirdly, this is maybe one of the better of the Phoenix games. And it like actually functions correctly. But the level design is extraordinarily rude. Like Monkey Ball has tricks to it, but it doesn't like actively try to troll the player. Whereas this game does. This game will like try to kill you and laugh about it, kind of death to it. So it's sort of a different philosophy of game design, I guess. And then just also the control on this. Bree's making it look easy, I guess. Bree, what would you say?
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you just fell right there. That's still, you know. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen. Yeah, no,
I mean, I think everybody's making this look playable. I'm still stressing, like, even with the extremely wide platforms, like, I still feel the tension in my stomach, like, clenching, like, they're gonna fall to their death, and I can't do anything about it. But, you know, these platforms are so wide compared to Monkey Ball. If it were Monkey Ball, I don't think I would be as stressed, like, for every location here. But welcome to Mythmakers, I suppose, you know?
By the way, you do have to actually say it's Orbs of Doom because there's another Mythmakers game. There's a card game, which, you know, might show up on Kusogrand8 one day, so.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I'm taking a look at the people who made this, and oh no. Is that Rock and Roll Adventures? Yeah, okay. So y'all know Anubis too, y'all know Ninja Bread Man, y'all know Rock and Roll Adventures. Well, say hello to the developers of this game, because all of those are basically clones of each other. Oh, Anubis too. Yeah, Action Girls Racing. I apologize that I didn't bring up that game. I actually was watching a video about some of the worst games ever for the Wii, and yeah, this developer came up over and over again. However, it actually looks like they kind of tried with this game.
Yeah, like I said, I think this might actually, I mean, I have not played all 99 of their games. They cranked them out a rank like one every 4 months. So I have not played all 99 of them. So I cannot tell you if it is actually the best, but I think it might actually be their best game, which is, given what's been going on and the falling over and over on those rude trees. Yeah, that's saying something. J-Hit did get to the next level past that, so we have at least one person past the tree level, and it looks like that's where Bree is. Bree, I think you're on the same level as J-Hit is, what it looks like.
I guess. I got Did some progress here and then fell. Yeah, I guess you got to start the whole level over each time you fall.
Yep.
Yeah, there are no checkpoints.
No checkpoints whatsoever. That's why I said, you have to beat the level for progress, because it's going to reset you anyway if you die. So you just got to get to the end.
Yeah. So I'm taking a look at the history to just make sure that this was inspired by Monkey Ball and this didn't come first. And indeed, Monkey Ball came out in 2001. This came out in 2004. So absolutely, this was inspired / a fairly easy to follow formula, except they really changed up like the overall goal, because Monkey Ball was often like very clean, clearly designed levels. It did have a time limit, and this one doesn't, so that's an interesting difference. But I think that was probably necessary just because of how confusing some of these levels are. We've got physics where J-Hit just knocked over a platform, gonna have to backtrack in order to cross that platform. Yeah, I can't argue that, like, usually when I say that you can go ahead and use other people's ideas, put a spin on it, they're doing that with this. I'd say that, like, that's not necessarily a flaw on their part. Maybe it's not the best executed, but at least it's not just a Monkey Ball clone. They're doing something.
Yeah, no, this is I mean, again, I haven't experienced all 99 of their games, so I haven't experienced Billy the Wizard, which is one of their famous ones. Did we give that one? I don't know, remembering.
I think we did. Yeah, we gave out
Billy the Wizard is the other one we had, and I've not actually played that one, so I don't have that much to compare with. But this is like, it's like they just. Again, they were trying to troll the players, essentially, is what this ends up being, kind of. It's very odd level design choices. It's also uneven. Like, you'll see a really hard and long level followed by, like, an actual really short level, and not in a way that, like, makes sense. You can actually do that in game design sometimes, where you're in Gradius or something like that, and the final boss, you're just shooting this brain that doesn't even move, and it's a lot easier than what came before it, and it makes sense. But with this, like, you'll have, like, level 2's really hard, and then level 3 is, like, just super easy, and then level 4 is back to being hard again, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So, yeah, it's just very confused, and probably it's done very fast. Like, probably they designed it in sequence, and they didn't even think afterwards, okay, let's put them in an order that actually makes sense for the difficulty or anything like that. And that's my guess is how they did it.
Now, this developer did make another ball game called Habit Trail Hamster Ball, and it looks like the level design might be a little bit different, but a lot of the mechanics are exactly the same. The tries listed at the bottom left, the speed meter at the bottom right. It looks pretty dang generic. I wouldn't be too surprised if some of the levels... I mean, this dev is notorious for copy pasting and for basically just trying to do a reskin of a game and release it, pretending that it's something else, which is what a lot of... I mean, people call it shovelware. Back in the day, we used to call that bootlegging, but, you know... trying to present something as something that it's not, you know, and trying to present your old game as a new game is kind of disingenuous, in my opinion. But yeah, I at least like that they're going for different ideas with Mischief Makers. And there we go, J-Hit through another level, moving on. Very good progress here.
Scramble is confirmed, by the way, there are levels reused from the Hamster Ball game.
Oh, okay.
I found this one looking for PS2 games because I forget, there was a conversation where suddenly we had PS2 available, and so I was like, okay, I know Phoenix published for PS2, let's look for some Phoenix games, and that's where this came up from. So,
gotcha. Then again, bootlegging usually implies that you're representing somebody else's product or that you're trying to represent your product as being something else made by somebody else. And tricking people into buying it. And I wouldn't necessarily say that reusing a level is quote unquote tricking or, people into thinking that it's something else. Maybe it's just laziness. How about that? Asset flip laziness. That's what we've got with this developer. At the very least, they were trying with this game, since it was, as far as I know, the first of their games that uses sort of the monkey ball format.
So, it's starting to get harder on, because Jay hits on the new area. It's starting to get harder in terms of, so the opening here, you actually have to reckon with the physics a little better. And it does have significant differences for monkey ball feel. So one of the main things that people have trouble getting used to on monkey ball is it's kind of like the game Labyrinth, the physical game Labyrinth. Have you ever played that with the wooden one with the ball on it?
The wooden one with the ball, and yeah, you get it to tilt in order to roll the ball around, and it's a maze. Right. Yep.
Right. You're not directly controlling the ball in that. You're controlling the world. The same thing is true for monkey ball. You're not physically moving your character. You're moving the world around.
Yeah.
This feels like you're moving the character. Kind of. Bree, can you try to describe it? I've been trying. It's like you're moving.
Does it feel like you're just tilting the camera but not moving the world?
I don't know. This feels very weird. I'm not liking this camera. Yeah, it feels very off.
I'll have to personally try it because I think I know what you're talking about here, but I'd have to give it a shot myself in order to try to describe that. But yeah, monkey ball very much feels like you're tilting the world around as your character is flying through the air. Tilting the world affects you very differently, whereas in this game, if you're in the air and you try to move stuff, it would probably move your character in the ball rather than necessarily the world around you. Is that right?
Kind of. That's what I said. It's like it doesn't even make sense to me. I was trying to come up with some way of describing it. It's like they did both. Like they actually have it. You are controlling the world and you're controlling the character.
Oh, I don't like that.
And that just doesn't make any more sense after that. It's definitely frustrating to get a hang of. It's a legitimate challenge. It's interesting kind of way like one of those old Flash games was where you whatever, the Impossible game or something where it's intentionally a little bit janky and you're trying to get past 10 levels and then you hand it to your friends and say, here, do this, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm sure by being the game master of this game, I just kind of do the same thing, but with our players. But, they're 17 points. They can handle it.
Yeah, they can do it. Now, one of the better things about the game, the audio here is actually pretty decent. I'm taking a look and, the person who did the audio, sure, they did a bunch of the audio for all of the other games that this company made, but they also worked on some of the Lego games, like Lego Batman. Which is completely fine. If you are doing good enough music to land something with like an actual IP and not myth makers, then that's great. Good job. And just because somebody is working on shovelware doesn't mean that they even want to. If your employer gives you a specific job, you do it. You don't blame the devs for laziness. You blame the management. It's always the management's fault, not the developer's fault. And by that, I mean not the programmer's fault. Maybe the designers, if they are managing the project, maybe the designer's fault, but it's not going to be the programmer's fault. Not their fault. So that's my rule. Blame management. Okay.
So, progress-wise here, if I'm right, although, I can pull up the ref sheet. It's Jay hits in first, Willard's in second, and Cookies in third. Is that right?
let me take a look just to make sure. Because right now, yeah, J-Hit and Willard on level 10, Cookies and Bree are on level 9, and it does look like J-Hit made it to level 10 first, so J-Hit is technically a little bit in the lead based off of the tiebreaker rule there, but Cookies finishing the level and moving on. Bree, I think you're gonna get this in just a little bit. No, it's fine, it's fine. Sometimes you fall. The rise comes before the fall. You know, that's how it goes.
I guess that's how it works. Yeah, I'm having a few problems on this level.
I mean, I don't blame you. This kind of looks like a nightmare trying to get wherever you're going here. I don't fully understand what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, like I think I have to get to that like skinny platform, but I'm not quite sure.
It looks so impossible to go on that platform, though. Like, it's so thin and angled and
yeah, and then the camera keeps doing
and then the okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, by the PS2 era, if the camera's bad, that's really something that they needed to fix. That's something that you need to get right when you're in the PS2 era. Yeah, PS1, I can forgive a little bit. N64, sure, I'll forgive you. PS2, we've learned.
I was trying to have the camera zoomed out more, but I wonder if that's worse because it's getting like caught on things.
So, by the way, it hits on the next level, so we've got more of a lead. And once again, there's just very strange level design choices here going on. I mean, I guess this level makes sense. Just, I don't know, it is almost kind of a monkey ball thing doing this. Like they have to show this progressively higher thing going on. But yeah, there start to be some really weird choices going on, I think, with this game. So the camera, I mean, there is a way to control the camera. Like, what happens when you try to control the camera? Can you describe it?
I mean, I'm standing still right now. I'm pressing left and right on the analog. That's about the speed it moves at. And then if I press up and down, that's kind of the range. But yeah, like the camera does do a lot of tilting with every turn you make, and that's kind of doing its own thing.
Yeah, it seems like the camera
thing, along with just getting caught on like every piece of geometry in the world.
Yeah. Seems like the camera really wants to be behind you, and that's not always convenient, like not at all. So I'm trying to think, like, do we have lore with this game? Like, what is this story? Why are we in Orbs? Why are they doomed?
I would love to know, but there's no manual that I could find anywhere on the internet.
Now, of course, there's no manual out there. Why would there be?
Yeah, that's too logical. I mean, I think I found. Hold on, I think I might have found the other Mythmakers game, the manual. Give me a second. I can see if I can pull it up again.
I mean, I have a description on Moby Games that gives a little information here. In a faraway place and time lies a realm of myths and legends, and at a secret location within this magical realm lies the Mythmakers Academy. Here, young people study the magical art of myth-making, hoping to eventually become a myth master. Assistant Principal Sinister Rebus. What? A crappy name. Sinister Rebus works at the academy, and he is a bad guy. He has had many of his evil plans thwarted by the academy's students, and now he's out for revenge. Rebus has captured Nick, Zeke, Zolestein, Jack, Trixie, Romeo, Bell, and Felicia, the Academy's most promising cadets. He has imprisoned them in magical balls, the eponymous Orbs of Doom, and has scattered them all around the world. Thus begins the adventure. The players each take the role of one of 8 characters whom they must navigate through each of the 5 levels in the 5 different worlds in a 3-dimensional landscape. That's a lot of numbers. Each level requires the player to negotiate a path from the start point through the exit gates. Along the way are perilous drops, which will catch anyone who strays from the path. Exploding boxes, seesaws, pendulums, and platforms. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. So, blah, blah, blah. You are apparently all nerds. That's what I'm getting. You're going to school because you're nerds who want to do myth stuff and become myth masters. And a guy's like, no, you can't be myth masters. You're in an orb now. And that's the story.
Yep. So Cookie and Willard have been stuck on the same level for quite a while, and there's this initial turn is very, very, very rude. I think I got through by luck. I don't know if I could describe how you're supposed to do it like every single time. And that's actually a lot harder than some of the stuff after, which is part of the reason why J-Hit is so far ahead now. I haven't counted how many levels it is, but we have a significant level lead now.
Yeah, this is very much a lead here. I don't like this level, but, you know, welcome to Orbs of Doom. Yeah, and for those who are wanting to become myth masters as well, it's called folklore, and you can get a master's degree in folklore. Go, enjoy. That was one of my emphases for my bachelor's degree, and I loved it. Absolutely a lot of fun, and I honestly probably would have had a better chance at having what people may call a real job had I gotten a master's in folklore instead of literature and writing. Yeah, look, okay, one of my professors literally was an expert that appeared on Finding Bigfoot and ended up judging a cake on Cake Wars. I'm not even kidding you. It's so surreal to be watching freaking Finding Bigfoot and having your professor there and being like, oh, yeah. Not only that, but she provided really good information. Yeah. I love those classes, and simply put, myths are an important part of the human experience. Myths, urban legends, and folk tales, you know, fairy tales, they're all very important and tell a lot about the people who tell them. Yeah. But, yeah, if you didn't know, Utah is a pretty big hotspot when it comes to Bigfoot sightings. Did you know that, Bree? We've got big feet here.
I guess.
Giant. Yeah.
Omega just disconnect.
Omega did. We'll see if Omega comes back. It's fine.
All right. At least I got to the next level. I decided to stop and just look at the level, and it's like, oh, right, physics exists.
Yay, physics. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chow was asking, didn't you have a vampire class? And yes, I had a vampire class. That was a fantastic class, learning like all about the history back to like the 1600s and such. And then old school vampires were basically what we have as modern day zombies. Yeah, original vampires were basically just zombies, but the tradition around vampires evolved a heck of a lot.
So, speaking of zombies, Bree, you got further. I got Comcasted, so I
okay, yeah, I got up high and just looked at the level, and it's like, oh, right, I guess I have to do a physics. All right, now I gotta get this turn. Hurrah! Oh. Yeah, the longer you play this, the more the camera's just Now maybe I'm getting dizzy, like not nauseous, but
Yeah, dizzy is like the prelude to nausea, you know?
well, I'll see how I do. oh, yeah, it's like, is me having camera control making this better or worse? Oops.
Whee! Oh, very, very good run along the curve. Like, I really like that intro curve, but considering how long the rest of this level is, like, that's one of the big problems here, in my opinion. The levels are just too long for what this game is trying to do. Monkey Ball, you know, the levels were concise. Everything was like a very specific skill set that it was trying to test, whereas this game didn't seem like it had quite that design idea going on here. Like, Willard got through a rather difficult section of the level that he's currently on, and now is just doing seesaw rock back and forth, and it's like, this is you know, if there is a section where you can die after doing this part, it's absolutely going to be infuriating to come back and do this again. Like, keep the time-wasting sections to themselves, you know, so that you have checkpoints after them, or, you know, if you have a number of tries here, at least let people have checkpoints. Why do the tries exist if you don't have checkpoints?
I mean, I imagine it's because they were sort of copying the other game, and it's sort of a Vestal thing. It's sort of like how people kept lives in games for a long time, where sometimes, like, even having lives didn't really make sense. Like, did anyone really care about the lives in what's the one with the tropical on GameCube? Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
anyone
yeah,
really care about the lives in the game? There's all sorts of stuff about lives, but it's like, I don't know. I never really felt like the mechanic made any sense in that, or most of the Marios afterwards that had lives. It was more like, yeah, I mean, once it didn't make sense to have that mechanic anymore, you should have just gotten rid of it.
Yeah, even Mario 64, I wasn't sure if it needed that.
Yeah, it's more like having lives there just really feels like when you get a game over, it's wasting time. You can just kick people out of the level. You're not gaining anything by having a life system in there. But, you know, that was how they did it back in the day, just like wearing onions on your belt. Somebody did it at some point. And
yeah, that was the style.
It was the style of the time, yeah. Okay, J-Hit is doing the very slow and boring maze level where you've got this giant meat tube just rotating.
It's somebody's tongue, right?
Is it? I mean, tongues.
Yeah, there's the teeth there.
Tongues
You
can
can see
be
the tongue.
tongues can be meat tubes.
What is wrong with that tongue?
I mean, you just gotta flex your tongue right, you know? Then it looks like that. You know what? I bet that you could probably just bounce up and ride along the top of the maze, and that would probably be faster than actually playing this level.
Yeah, I guess the big question is, if you've done all the navigation up to this point and you're like, wait a minute, I could do some sort of janky jump thing to get higher. Do you actually do it, which risk maybe causing you to go flying out of control?
Not at this point,
and
no.
you just lost all. Yeah, you know, that's a certain.
If I died, then I would absolutely try it. But yeah, slow and steady for Kusogrand8 is probably going to be the better way to go. Even if it's not exciting, that's how J-Hit's doing it. And honestly, that's fine. You know, it might not make for great TV, but that's why we're here to talk about other stuff, like how it looks like a weird meat tube. I don't know, like, if this is a tongue, this person really has bad geography of the tongue. Like, look, it's basically a map laid out. I have that on my tongue. It's not, there's nothing that really causes it. They haven't figured out a cause, and it's not really harmful other than my tongue sometimes feels a little bit sore. It just looks weird. Just like this tongue.
I do not even remember how to get out of here. I'm sorry. I was trying to.
It's to the left. There's the giant arch that is slowly coming around, but J-Hit doesn't want to get out of there and die, and that is smart. There we go. J-Hit is through and is currently solidifying that lead. Meanwhile, Willard J. Bradley and Cookies Are Yum are both on the very boring spiral level of boringness. Actually, that's a problem with a lot of these levels. A lot of them, there's so much waiting. You don't want to wait with a game like this. Like Monkey Ball was all about the action. Sure, occasionally you did have to wait for like 3 seconds rather than like 2 minutes with the previous level that J-Hit was doing. My gosh. And there we go. Cookies Are Yum on the tongue.
Yeah, so right behind J-Hit then. The thing about Monkey Ball is that it controlled well enough that you actually felt like you could do the weird gimmick jump things. Like, even without playing that much, not being a speedrunner or anything, I would sometimes like just try to hop across this whatever gimmick I was doing, like, oh, I don't need to do that. This game, you try to hop across the gimmick, and quite often it's just you don't have enough control over it, and it'll kill you. It's not like you get enough going with this.
Yeah, I'm noticing that, like, your ball really doesn't want to bounce. Whereas in Monkey Ball, you often could. Yeah, Cookies Are Yum had been trying to cheese this level, and I appreciate... Oh, so close! So close to getting over the wall, but nope. The level refused to change. Yeah, like, it's not an exciting level, but doing it the quote-unquote correct way is probably going to be more reliable, and whatever. You know, it's frustrating because this is a race, but it's probably the correct way to do things here. Just play this level more or less the way that it was meant to be played.
See here, is Willard going to try any kind of tricks, or is he just going to go for the straightforward? Looks like he's just going for the way you're supposed to do it.
For now, yeah. Oh, so close. Willard probably could have cheesed that, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Willard just waiting for the meat tube to turn enough. Waiting for the tongue to turn enough. This isn't how tongues work. If your tongue is just constantly spinning very, very slowly, like very slowly, that's something you should mention to your doctor the next time that you go. Like,
I don't know. Have you stared closely enough at enough people's tongues? Maybe they do.
I've stared at a lot of tongues in my life. Oh, Willard, no! You got impatient! Oh no, Cookies also got impatient. Oh, Willard. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say there's still technically enough time to catch up if one of them gets through it on that attempt. I don't know about now, though, especially because this level I don't think is nearly... Ooh, except that J-Hit just went flying, so... the level J-Hit's on is not nearly as rude as some of the previous ones.
Yeah. Willard keeps trying to do a cheese strat here, which I very much appreciate. Like, I would probably try this at least a few times. It's not working out. Did Cookies make it through? Cookies pulled off the cheese strat, and I wasn't even looking. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I blinked. What was that?
Well, as it turns out, if you do the cheese strat, you get through very, very fast. Yeah, that puts Cookies in a very solid second place. Willard in third. Waffle Fox Bree is a zombie. So even though you are behind Bree, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You're a pumpkin.
You're just here to show off the controls for everybody. I mean, I think it's easier to get a good sense of the controls when you have a zombie. Like, you can talk about it a little more. And
yeah, this level's I don't know. I don't like how I have to do it twice, and then it's like, can I do this curve twice in a row? No. Yeah, and then interesting. Parts of this level like tilts like that wooden toy version. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm also like a little bit confused about like the level theming, because it doesn't seem like there's any consistency. We had like sort of pastoral areas and then spooky areas and then inside someone's mouth, and now J-Hit is back to the pastoral like windmill area. Like, what is going on? What kind of nightmarish level repetition design thing are we doing? Like, what is this? This doesn't make sense. Pumpkin Time Never Let Me Down? Okay. Yeah, I like Pumpkin Time. Honestly, Pumpkin Time's the best time. What is Pumpkin Time to you, Omega Number? What do you do during Pumpkin Time?
You take the top out of the pumpkin and then you rip out its guts and you carve something into it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. What about you, Bree? What do you do during Pumpkin Time?
I don't know, just eat. I just eat the pie.
Ah, that's good Pumpkin Time. Heck yeah. See, Pumpkin Time's the best. You can either murder a pumpkin or you can murder it and eat it.
Yeah, I usually just do the murdering.
Yeah. Oh, when I was young, I didn't really like pumpkin pie all that much, but then I got older and I was like, this is pretty good. Still not my favorite pie. I mean, give me a good cherry pie. That beats pretty much everything anytime.
Yeah, I'm up for like a cherry or an apple pie.
Yeah, apple pie used to be my favorite, but it's just a little bit too sweet. I want that tart. Ugh.
So I think I can see the pain with Willard right now. Like, not only like trying to go slow, but like having trouble controlling the slow. So you're not even able to consistently go slow, but sometimes the thing just stops because physics. That can happen on this level. I did not know it had a cheese strat, so it was good that, I mean, unfortunately I didn't get to see it. I'll have to watch the VOD. I was looking at the wrong screen.
It's all right. I do want you to know that right after we started talking about Pumpkin Time, Cookies are untyped in Discord. Pumpkin Time Never Let Me Down. And I'm like, oh, the coincidence. We're all thinking Pumpkin Time. Okay, Willard. I know you want this to finish quickly, but just take your time. That is the smart move. By the way, for everybody watching, none of these players will be eliminated today. They are all moving on to round 4. However, whoever comes in third is going to have to work a little bit more to make it to the bracket. The person coming in first, though, will have a very good chance of making it into the bracket. So that's the main difference. If they want to make it into the bracket and really assure that they are moving on, then coming in first is extremely helpful. J-Hit is definitely on track, although looking at the ref sheet, Cookies Are Yum is doing pretty good at trying to catch up here. Level 17, J-Hit on level 20. Cookies Are Yum does need to boogie a little bit, but as you said, these levels are a little bit easier for a while. And Willard moving on to the next level as well. Very nice.
So with 17, if you win, you get 10 points, so you're on 27. Then no matter what, the next round you have to get at least 2. So you're guaranteed to be in the tiebreaker pretty much if you get 4th place, and if you get 3rd place or higher in the last one, then you're definitely bracketed. That's how it works.
Let me go ahead and check right now. The players have 17 points going into this. Whoever comes in last is going to have 22 points. And in order to guarantee that you make it into the bracket, you need 30 points or more by the end of round 4. Now, whoever comes in last will have 22 points, and that means that they need to come in first or second on their last match in order to make it into the bracket. If they come in third, they'll probably go to the tiebreaker, and coming in fourth, they will be out of Kusogrand8. So, yeah, coming in last here and then last in their final match would be enough to be eliminated. Like, there is a risk for at least one of the players here. Or whoever comes in second, though, will get 7 points, and that bumps them up to 24 points, which, again, if they come in last, they're out, but coming in third for their final match would be enough. It would be enough to make it into the tiebreakers. Wait. If you come in last for this one, 19 points, 19... Yeah, they'd have to come in at least... Oh my gosh, my brain.
It's okay. So actually, it's weird. The level that Cookie's on is one of my favorites. Just not in like a good design way, but just like in a wow kind of way. Just because you have to start with getting hit by this spinning thing, and you take the momentum to climb up this thing, but if you steer wrong, you'll run out of momentum before you can climb up. And then there's just one beginning part of this big long trial here where you can still mess up. So it looks like we did have a finish on Willard's side though. So we're done with tongues. Unless Bree makes it there.
No more tongues. Bree, you can make it to the tongue. I've got the faith.
I think I'm getting worse at this.
Oh no.
Bree, would you like to try a different level? I mean, you could just use the level select. We know that you're
okay.
Oh my gosh. You know, I was actually confused about the tries at the bottom left. I thought that was like the number of lives that you have, but that lists how many times that you've tried the level. That makes more sense now.
62 tries.
I was like, you're getting so many lives, Bree. How are you doing it?
Yeah, I can't do that curve twice in a row, and I have to do it twice in a row unless I find a way to cheese it.
Yeah. It's kind of a butt.
Fairy Kingdom or
There's a lot
Christmas
more
Land
saxophone in this music than I would have expected. Oh, J-Hit. Oh, don't fall. Oh, you wanted to fall, but you didn't. Good job. Unfortunately, your speed is a little bit too slow to really get that ramp. Are you going to be able to build up enough speed to get the jump? Oh. Nope.
Oh.
Gotta do it in one go, it looks like. So J-Hit going back up around the spiral. Meanwhile, Cookies Are Yum waiting for that rotating platform. and unfortunately getting a little bit too greedy and falling into the pit. Meanwhile, it looks like Willard is doing a good job of catching up, currently on level 17, and Cookies is on 19. Jay hit on 22. Not a huge spread. There is plenty of time for Willard to move up from third to second, and possibly even to first if Jay Hit gets stuck on this level for a long time. Oh, but Jay Hit made the jump.
Let me see how much time we got left on our
We've got 10 minutes.
And let me think.
It's that pumpkin time. It's that pumpkin time, I'm telling you.
I like how, as things are going on, they're getting a little like cannier about when to hit the restart button on this. So like Willard was like not even over the edge yet and just did restart because he knew that his momentum was going to go whoosh.
Whoosh. Okay, let me see. Can I... I'm just trying to figure out how to best do something. Okay. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Okay. Welcome to my life. I'm trying to do like set up for the next match as quickly as possible while also doing this. But you know, that's my life.
That's fine. Let me talk about Phoenix games a little bit while this is going on, because
go for
one
it.
of the things to mention about this game is this is relatively late in the PS2 lifespan too. This is not an early PS2 game. You might think like, oh, the reason why this is PS2 is they were like developing for PS1, the PS2 came out, maybe they pivoted, and that's why this feels like a PS1 game. This was released in 2008. It is one of the last PS2 games that Phoenix made.
Okay.
And in fact, PS3 was already been out since 2006. So this is 2 years after the PlayStation 3 had come out.
Yeah, I mean, you had GTA 4, Fallout 3 came out that year, Smash Bros. Brawl, Fable 2, yeah, sure, Little Big Planet. Yeah, this is Mirror's Edge came out the year that this did. So this is definitely, like, it's PS2. Like, I appreciate devs who still make games for older consoles, you know, because people are still going to have them. They don't just magically disappear unless they went and took it to GameStop and got like $20 back, you know. There's still, a lot of people are still going to have it, so I appreciate devs making games for them. It's just that, you know, I'd prefer good games to come out. But yeah,
this is sort of a good game, sort of. I guess. Good for them. Yeah. You know, I really should try some more of these games. Like, apparently, the same year that this came out was Kids Sports Ice Hockey and Kids Sports International Soccer. You know, like, what are those like? Or Ocean Commander. Here.
Ocean
Iron
Commander.
Chef?
Oh yeah, don't play Iron Chef. No. Not a great game.
What? Okay, now you have to tell me. So there's a Phoenix game called Iron Chef, but what is it?
Wait, if it's Iron Chef, based off of the show Iron Chef, I'm relatively sure that I've seen gameplay of that, and it is just not great. Oh, Iron Chef for PS2 is not related? What? Okay, now I'm interested. And let me go ahead and make sure that, like, I confirm what you're talking about, because I see that this was released in 2004, not 2008. 2004 for PS2.
Let me see here. I'm looking at the list here, and it gives March 2008.
I know it came out for 2008 for the Wii. But yeah, what I'm looking at could be incorrect as well. That might have just, I don't know.
Yeah, this is the Phoenix Game wiki because apparently there's a Phoenix Games wiki. I guess there's fans, you know, whenever you have a thing, there's fans. Let's see here. So they have a PlayStation 1 games as late as 2005. And then PlayStation 2. Yeah, no, it's saying that it's, I mean, there's multiple versions, so there might be some kind of confusion going on. The kart game was 2007, the Mythmakers Super Kart GP, which also sounds like a good time.
Okay. Yeah, I could absolutely be incorrect here. It's hard to say. But also, they don't even have a page on the Phoenix Games wiki about this game, so I might hesitate to say how accurate the Phoenix Game wiki is.
Yeah, well, there's not many pages for any of these games here. There's one for Hoppy. Let's look at Hoppy.
Yeah, Hoppy.
Hoppy was born with a special gift of being able to restore everything around him back to life. One day, the kings and queens of evil put a spell of darkness onto the world. It is Hoppy's mission to save the world from the evil spell and bring the world back to its lively state. It's got a PS2 and a DS version.
Ooh.
Interesting. I'll have to look that one up.
But yeah, welcome to Kusogrand8, where the games are obscure enough that the game itself doesn't have a Wikipedia page, and basically this game is a mystery to us all. Then again, the title screen probably says what year it came out. Maybe? Could be lying, too. Title screens lie all the time.
Yeah, that is true. One of the things that I do know about this game is it came with, so there's a page on the cutting floor, which is like a page that dissects stuff that's in games that didn't make it to the actual game. And there's leftover graphics from other stuff in here, like a just GameCube picture of a GameCube memory stick.
Oh, for sure.
There's also a picture of something from Billy the Wizard on here, so.
Yeah, that is no surprise at all. I completely believe that.
Let's see. This thing is saying 2007, so it's either 2007 or 2008. It's not, too far off. Do Mythmakers and Billy the Universe take place in the same universe? I think so. That's one of the things I was trying to figure out is where they're trying to build up a big mythology, and I believe yes. But I don't have the manual to confirm this, if they're actually like part of the series or not. If somebody is able to find the manual at some point, I would love to see it. I'd like to know if it was intended to be connected with everything or not. But it looked like from the stuff I was reading that it was sort of meant to be in the same mythos. But maybe that's just a way so they can reuse graphics, I guess. That also, is smart, I guess. If it's the same mythos, you can put the same wizard and hey, it's the same character. We don't need to change it.
I've got a bit more of an answer because the back of the PS2 copy of the game says copyright 2003. Library programs copyright 1997 to 2004, so I believe that it was released 2004. Windows version 2006, Wii version 2008. I am going to go ahead and say, unless proven otherwise, that this came out in 2004. I have no other evidence anywhere whatsoever. And there we go, Willard through another level. I don't think it's going to make a difference, though. I believe our order is going to be J-Hit, followed by Cookies Are Yum, and finally Willard J. Bradley. Now, nobody eliminated from this match. Waffle Fox, though, on the tongue. Off the tongue. At least you made it to the meat tube.
Yeah, the meat tube.
I hate the meat tube.
Yeah, how's
You gonna try the cheese?
I think I prefer the meat cubes.
I prefer, well, I don't know. Meat isn't supposed to come in tube form. A lot of meat does, but that's besides the point because that is time. We are done. I almost said we are dumb. Yeah, that might also be true. Well, with that said, we have gotten through Mythmaker's Orbs of Doom, and it looks like, per the ref sheet, J-Hit made it to level 24, solidifying that victory. Cookies Are Yum, level 22. Very nice job, possibly moving on to level 23 right now. With Willard J. Bradley at level 19, and Waffle Fox Bree a little bit behind, but is a scarecrow now. That happens to the best of us. Sometimes you become a scarecrow. Waffle Fox Bree does not count towards the placing, so that is J-Hit with first, Cookies Are Yum second, Willard J. Bradley third, and the rest of us truly in first place. What an amazing match, and honestly, a lot of progress from all the players here. Yeah, how do you feel they did?
That was excellent. I did have one of the refs said, "Are they going to beat the game?" And I was like, "No, nobody's going to do it clear." But that was very good, especially because I don't think any of them said they had like serious monkey ball experience or anything like that. So that was I wasn't sure how it would go. I mean, when I was playing it, I was more like how Bree was playing it, where I just falling everywhere and dying, and I mean that's more like how I was doing it. So
that honestly sounds about right. Well, we have our victor here today, J-Hit. Congratulations. You honestly took an early lead and held on to that lead this entire match. That was a lot of fun to watch.
You know, the game's not that bad until it's really bad.
Uh-oh. When does it get really bad?
At any time you think that it's gonna control like Monkey Ball and then it stops controlling like Monkey Ball,
yeah,
it's just it's impossible to regain any sort of momentum in some levels.
We kept trying to have people describe like what the weird thing is with the controls, like how it feels, because it definitely doesn't feel like Monkey Ball. It feels wrong, and they weren't able to give me a good description of what that means. Are you able to describe this?
Have you ever played Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the Game Boy Advance?
Oh, I mean, I think I've played a little bit of it, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but like blown up on a PS2/GameCube scale.
Okay.
Where it's just kind of it's so close to Monkey Ball, but then it just feels like, I don't know, ice physics maybe is maybe what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. So, unfortunately, this is Super Junkie Ball Junior, except bigger with ice physics and then confusing levels. Yeah.
Bad camera.
And a very naughty camera. Such a bad camera. But, you know, you got through it. You got through a lot of the game. It's definitely not the easiest game out there, and you made it look relatively playable, which I know it's not.
Yeah, the difficulty curve in this game is wild too. Like the one level with like the ramp into the super sharp bank turn into another ramp was like, I don't know who thought of that level, and then putting like a stroll through the park as the next level is like, what are you doing?
That is absolutely fair. Now, is there anything redeemable about this game? Like, you said that it's not too bad until it's bad. Like, what are the good parts?
I think other than like the wildly out of place difficulty curves, I think the level design is pretty good for being a Monkey Ball clone.
Okay. Like, I did have complaints that the levels were a little bit more confusing than Monkey Ball, you know, not very linear. It was a little bit difficult to tell where to go exactly, whereas Monkey Ball, the levels are extremely tight, and like it's very short and very straightforward what your overall goal is for the majority of the levels. But there's a lot of wandering around and a lot of I don't know, there's a lot of downtime when it doesn't feel like there should be downtime. But overall, I'm glad that they didn't just make Monkey Ball. They did something a little bit different.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Honestly, I think if at the beginning of the level, instead of just panning the camera around your character, if they did like a zoom through the level to show you where the goal was at, it would be like infinitely more playable.
Ooh, I love that idea. We should send that to the devs and let them know. Yeah, the company is no longer existing, which makes sense.
Orbs of Doom 2 win.
Oh no, never, don't speak these cursed words. Well, we are definitely behind time, so I don't want to spend too long. Are you doing anything these days on stream that people should know about?
Honestly, I've been taking a huge challenge of trying to get the Platinum Trophy in every Devil May Cry game.
Ooh.
And if you don't know about that, it's quite the undertaking.
I don't know about that, but honestly, I imagine some of them could be pretty dang difficult.
There's some pretty insane ones in the later half of the series.
Well, that's fun. And are you doing? When are you doing streams? Are you streaming that or?
Yeah, I'm streaming that. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern usually.
Gotcha. So if y'all want to see some Devil May Cry action over at J-Hit Stream, you are welcome to do that. Well, thank you so much. Waffle Fox Bree and Omega Number, thank you as well for the game. I had a blast, and I'm glad that you were both here for the ride.
Yeah, thanks. You take care.
Yeah,
Thanks.
y'all take care as well.
Have a good rest of your weekend.
All right, bye.
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 Well, everybody, I am making some quick changes for Kusogrand8, making some files here just so that I can manage to have everything ready. We are going to run a quick ad, so we will be back after this with the reveal, and we will jump into the game as quickly as possible. Stay tuned, friends.